Let me go into some of the issues. So Honorable spoke about the fact that borrowing by the MPP administration had gone into her life. Is that the word he used? I just want to quote him well. Now, I have with me here amounts borrowed from 2017 up until 2021. Mm-hmm. And the projects it has been used for.
Which projects?
Oh, I mean, I'm reading.
Just mention two.
You are a member of parliament.
No,
but it's my turn, so I'll read it, and you can double check it.
I have it here.
Yeah. So we have non-concessional loans, and this is the creditor.
of Eurobond.
Yes, in fact, with the Eurobonds, Honourable. Let me just mention one. Let me mention two. What the Eurobond, our initial Eurobonds were used for. Now you remember that the Eurobond that was issued by President Kufuor in 2007.
We paid it. Check. We paid it. President Kufuor's Eurobond, we paid it. We set up a sinking fund, an escrow account to accumulate money to pay.
When did the bond mature?
I can check the dates
No,
for you.
when did it mature?
No, I have the full details.
The bond matured in 2017.
I'm coming. Let me.
So
Don't worry.
Yeah, it was a 10-year. It was issued in 2007.
I'm coming.
So it was a 10-year. So it matured in 2017. In fact, this is captured in the annual public debt report. This is where I got my data from. It's captured there. Now, your bond that was issued in 2015, to be sure, the 6th year, okay, it matured in 2022. Again, it was this government that had to repay back. And part of the Eurobond that was issued in that year was to buy back these bonds. So if you are telling me, on raw face, you are telling me two. These are the two. Now, let me go into the projects that monies has been used for, Annie. So this is 2017.
We're wrapping up.
Yeah, this is 2017. Development of Kumasi International Airport. Development of the University of Environment and Sustainable Development. That is the Dutch Bank loan. Again, additional financing for sustainable rural water and sanitation project, World Bank loan. Microeconomic stability and competitiveness, World Bank loan. Concessional loan.
This is a World Bank
Greater
loan.
Accra sustain. No,
I'm talking of Eurobond. You are talking of concessional World Bank. World Bank is an arm of the international.
I have the floor. Can you allow me to explain?
No, but don't do that.
You
okay.
See, you asked me.
When he finishes,
you asked me. You see, let's be fair to me. You asked me to give two things that we've used Eurobond for, and I said here that 2007 Eurobond that was issued and matured in 2017, the 2018 Eurobond was used to buy that. I've said it, and it's
is that what we said? Is that what I said?
I am saying that, not you.
No, viewers, is that what I said?
And I have given that. And I said, your 2015 Eurobond that you issued, it was a tenure of 6 years. It matured in 2021. In 2022, we issued an Eurobond. This is captured by the annual public debt report. And I urge you to go into the annual public debt report.
I have it here, I've read it.
Yes.
I don't come and sit here like that.
Yes, so this is what I'm
read all these
things. So the two instances I've given you. And I'm giving projects that we have done. Okay, but let me even veer off and talk about my party's
How many minutes?
Just a few minutes.
Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is saying that you cannot be doing the same old things and expect new results. And for that matter, when given the mandate by Ghanaians, he intends to implement a new tax system. So he talks about a flat rate tax regime, Annie. And I love it because there are empirical evidences that abound. And he cites the case of Estonia.
What does that mean? If you can just explain to viewers in just 30 seconds, what does a flat rate tax regime mean?
Thank you. I'll explain
because
it.
that suggestions, our policies seem to have confused.
So that is a proportional tax rate. So it's a proportional tax rate. So
everybody's running away from that.
A professional tax
proportional
rate.
Tax rate.
Proportional,
yeah,
okay.
Tax rate. So it's a tax rate that you know that at the end of the month, I'm paying a fixed rate of maybe 10%. In fact, in Estonia currently, it is 20%. That is what they have in Estonia.
You see?
Okay, that is Estonia. No, but that is Estonia. That is the rate that they charge.
So what rate are you going to charge?
Is that?
What rate are you going to charge?
The rate that we are going to charge?
Yes.
Of course. I mean,
what rate? What rate?
The vice president will come up with a rate.
He doesn't know.
He knows. He will announce it.
This man.
He knows and he's going to announce it.
It's a problem for Ghana.
You see?
I'm telling you.
And you see, the problem is
you
with
don't think he should know it by now?
The rate.
He knows the economy.
Yes, he knows it.
He's been the head of the economic management team. He knows the economy so well that by now he should have projected.
He should tell us the flat rate.
What he can actually
Of course, that's what I'm saying.
Flat rate.
That's what I'm saying, that in Estonia it's 20%. And
so
in my mind, honorable, allow me. In my mind, and I have absolute clarity that we will not go beyond what Estonia has done. That is the best
20%.
practice. We will not go. We may even do far below what Estonia has done.
And how do you feel in the revenue?
Yeah, I mean,
so excellent question. Excellent question. So how do you feel in the revenue? So this is where the NPP has superior ideas when it comes to the NDC.
Look at them.
You see, so I'm answering the question. Now, I mean, the Vice President has said in his speech that he intends to create that enabling fiscal space by government reducing its involvement in the provision of capital goods. And for that matter, the private sector will be allowed to play a key role in providing some of these goods. And he estimates, and he puts the figure there, that this alone will create a space of about 3% of GDP, which is the equivalent of about 30 billion Ghana cedis. Again, he also talks about the fact that he also you asked the question and I'm answering you.
So the private sector will fill in the taxes gap.
No, not tax.
What?
You see,
the private sector will do what?
What will they do?
You see, when you go to a country like South Africa, South Africa has the whole train from Johannesburg to Pretoria. Okay, this is an infrastructure that has been provided for public usage. But it wasn't the South African government that went to look for money to come and build that infrastructure.
Which one have you put down so far? We did
you've asked me questions, I've answered you.
The airports was done by a private sector.
You've asked me questions, and I'll give you practical examples.
So which one have you done before?
I am talking about what he says he will do. And this is what I'm saying. You've asked me what are the examples.
Okay,
I am giving you the examples.
So they would do
now,
that.
you also talk about the revenue. That how are we going to fill in the fiscal space? And again, the Vice President, if Honorable paid attention to his speech, the Vice President again states in his speech that given the current estimates by the GRA, and this is captured here in his speech, it's captured here, right here. It's captured right here. That given the current estimate by the GRA, here it is, estimate by the Ghana Revenue Authority, estimates that if we can broaden the tax base by about 13% of GDP.
If we can.
Yes.
What if we can?
And through digitalization, we can do it.
But why are we building our, projection policies on if clauses?
You see, through digitalization, we can do this. And that's why I've said through digitalization, we can do this, and we've done it.
Through
formalization of the informal sector. Okay. That alone could give us about 150 billion Ghana cedis.
Could.
Yes.
Could.
Because we've not realized that money, so as an economist, I would say would give us. So I have to say it that way.
Yeah, but if you're sure of what digitalization will do, you are able to project.
But that is the projection I'm giving you here, Annie, that it will give us 150. You wanted figures. The two of you wanted figures.
The two of us.
Yes. And I've given you figures here.
He can't take all our
that
time.
150 billion Ghana cedis. So if Honorable asks me how we are going to fill in that fiscal space, this is how the Vice President, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Mambia, intends to fill in that fiscal space.
All right.
Look, this is a Vice President who came and told us that he was instituting a 50% benchmark value at the port. Do you remember? You remember?
Yes.
Yes, and we told him that, look, it was going to create problems. He told us that we don't read. And that when you reduce that, it will rather double the revenues. 2 years down the lane, Baumia, this same Vice President, comes to reverse it and tell us that he didn't meet his targets. This, a Vice President, who told us that e-levy was the solution. Today he says that we should vote for him again so that he will withdraw it. This is a Vice President who told us that luxury vehicle tax was the solution. We told him, he did not listen. A year down the lane, he came to withdraw it. Today, this same person is saying that he will do a flat rate. When we ask percentage, they say they don't know. They will do about 20%. Tax base, digitalization. Haven't you heard this before? Is that not what he told us when we were in opposition? No, let's be frank, Ghanaians. Is that not what the Vice President told us? That digitalization will solve the problem. This is the same man who said we don't even need to borrow. This man, he told us that when they come to office, they won't borrow. All they will do is to toll the roads. And that they will use the private sector to develop the economy. Look, this is a national program, so I don't want to use certain words. Clearly, look at where we find ourselves. No, look at where we find ourselves under this same man as the head of the economic management team. He heads the government economy. He's the primus inter pares. He heads. And today he's telling us stories. Can you imagine? This same government.
But hasn't Kamala
This same government,
policies,
but not policy inconsistencies.
Honorable.
That's the difference between Kamala and Dr. Baumia.
So can we go through
Dr.
Kamala's
Baumia
economic policy?
and Kamala are not the same.
Is it in line with that of Joe Biden?
Kamala with Dr. Baumia, we beg you.
Is it in line with that of Joe Biden? I mean, every leader has his vision. If
but the vision should be
if you are
on
given
honesty.
the opportunity to lead the NDC,
yes,
your vision will be different from President.
But I wouldn't lie.
President John Dramani Mahama.
Yeah, but I wouldn't lie because
every individual
has his own vision. Sit here and say that
be,
I support e-levy. When my opponent says he was scrapping, then I quickly come and say, oh, I also scrap e-levy.
Then they say, you have a statement.
Management team.
You have a statement from the vice president saying categorically that he supports e-levy.
Yes, here.
The vice president himself.
His spokesperson.
Oh, come on.
His spokesperson was here.
You say the vice president said.
That's the spokesperson.
Oh, come on.
Dr. Baku said the vice president.
Yeah, that's
agrees.
Honorable.
I know what he says.
Do you have him on record saying that he supports the e-levy?
Please, this will not happen. Let me move on. I beg.
Yeah, but you asked me a question. You asked me to give examples.
The spokesperson speaks for the vice president.
Because we have an intellectual discussion.
You like intellectual discussion?
Yes. the vice president on record. I'm saying this. So the vice president did not say that.
For the vice president. So the spokesperson no longer speaks for the vice president.
No. You see, you said the vice president said. You should have said his spokesperson said.
Has the vice president told you he is against e-levy?
The vice president on any occasion hasn't said he's for e-levy. That I know for a fact.
Against.
And I'm saying he has never said he's for e-levy.
Okay.
The vice president, through his spokesperson, told us that he supports e-levy.
Okay.
And that e-levy was a game changer.
Okay.
E-levy was a panacea to Ghana's problems.
Okay. So lawyer is actually
adding
to your comment that $250 million was left in the sinking fund.
Oh yes, that's a fact.
To pay off the bond.
To pay off Kufuor's debt.
Yes.
Oh, the records are there. That's why I told him I read this document. We established a sinking fund, or what you call an escrow, so that you deposit money. When the facility is due, then you repay it. And that's a fact. Even ESLA, we left 236 billion. In the stabilization fund, we left 200 and something million. So when COVID struck, President Akufo-Addo took 200 million, the equivalent of 1.2 billion at that time, from President Mohammed's buffers. Petroleum revenues, we've gotten about 10 billion. They have gotten about 60% or 70% of that money. Energy sector levies is giving them 40 billion so far. This is the luckiest government ever in the history of government. And yet the worst government in terms of record. And you have this man, all of a sudden says that he is departing from what he has supported all this while. He supported e-levy. He was in parliament when they read the luxury vehicle tax. You know that? He was there, he sat there with finance minister, came and supported him. And all of a sudden, because election is due, he's trying to distance himself from what he stood for. This level of policy inconsistency, this level of duplicity, this 10 coats would never be trusted to be president. And I tell you, look, this election is about sending a message to politicians that your deceptive politics, this attempt to hoodwink people and use all kinds of jargons will not work this time. Let this incompetent, disastrous NPP government go back into opposition. Next time they have the mandate of the people, they will take the people of Ghana serious. This your utopian, fallacious policies, it won't work anywhere. You know the issue of the flat rate and the cascading rate. All we are saying is that when you earn more, you pay more. Any proper advanced country, that is what they do.